So to catch you guys up,
you're gonna get me all fired up again.
If you didn't see Danielle's Instagram story the other day, and I kind of refrained from posting anything because I'm still kind of angry about it. I wanted to literally drive there and go speak to somebody, and I thought, well, that's probably gonna be a bad idea. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this is so ridiculous. So,
that's why I called you and I said, you better be glad that you weren't here, because we would have all been embarrassed.
This is More Than Reality podcast, where we dive into all things faith, family, and marriage, and share that there is so much more than the reality that you see on the surface. Welcome to More Than Reality with Adam and Danielle Busby.
I feel like I should pull the
What's
microphone
up,
in when it
guys?
does that.
It is episode 45 of More Than Reality podcast. This is Adam and Danielle Busby, and
We're here.
And
Adam's.
this is like a crazy week. I mean, kids.
No, stop.
Kids started
I
school
want to know
this week.
what on earth you're wearing. You have a camo hoodie shirt on, and
I'm representing for Burley Bow.
Is it a camo jersey?
I guess it
is camo, or is that the
it's
shirt
like a
under
black
it?
camo.
Well, I can't even see you. There's so much camo. I don't even know where you're sitting. What's going on with this outfit? I mean, don't talk about my outfit today because I look amazing. But what is happening?
No, so
I feel like you're
Trey
trying that on, and then you just like
Trey and the crew over at Burley Bow sent me this jersey. And it's like a limited edition.
You want to play basketball?
It's their 10-year anniversary for Burley Bow. They're a Texas-based outdoor lifestyle company.
Do they play basketball? Or
yeah, you can. It's outdoor. Whatever you do outdoors, you can do it in Burley Bow.
You know, it's really cute. I wish we had a little boy
Me
to put.
right now.
No.
Burley Bow has a lot of
they have the cutest father-son stuff.
matching stuff.
Makes me want a little boy just to put him in the little Burley Boy stuff.
Burley Boy?
Yeah, that would be actually cute. They should use that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
you're distracted.
I just got it. I got it in the mail this week, and I was like, I'll throw it on today.
Clearly.
I'm all decked out.
Adam drives me nuts when he wears camo, and he likes to...
You know what else drives you nuts, huh?
A lot of things that you do.
Wrangler butts drive me nuts.
No. I'm more or less curious about your outfit because you were like a person, like you would wear that camo shirt right there. It's like greens camo, and you would put on the same color green pants.
I mean, it's camo.
Or sometimes you would wear khaki shirt with khaki pants, but not like it's a set.
I won't wear a khaki shirt with khaki. I'll wear like a off-white shirt with khaki
No.
pants.
You think they look, or you'll wear
a green,
like,
or a army green.
Sometimes I wonder if you're colorblind at times, because like, I'm like, that's not a set. It doesn't go together, but it's very popular to wear sets these days. Like a bunch of our kids have.
Exactly.
But when you'll put like something like, that's way too much of the same color. That's not meant to go together. So I'm glad you have jeans on with this attire today.
Thanks. I think.
Well, it's just funny because like that camo jersey doesn't really go over that camo shirt. So it looks very loud, and that usually is not.
I'm not loud.
What some things you wear, especially some of your shoes, they're very loud.
Yeah, I usually express myself with my shoes.
Anyways, what are we talking about today? I'm gonna look this way. It distracted me. Like my socks. I love socks, y'all. Just if you're wondering.
You like rocks too?
I like rocks. I like rock. We were in Colorado Springs a couple weeks ago, and we were like driving in the mountains, and Adam just looks out. You know, it's like cliffs and
car's
beauty.
quiet.
Car's quiet, and he just looks out the window and he goes, "I like rocks."
I do. I mean, being in Houston, Texas, it's so like flat.
It was just funny. It wasn't like
boring.
you said, I like mountains. These mountains are pretty like, I like rocks.
But whenever you go, like somebody that's from Houston that's not used to seeing any kind of really hills or mountains. I mean, yes, Texas has like the hill country and stuff. You have to go like way further west, but it's not the same. But
hills are not mountains.
Whenever you're driving through Colorado or somewhere like that, that's got just super picturesque scenery, lots of rocks, granite, mountains, like it just does something to you.
It's like how you say, like, he loves cactus, like anywhere we're out. And he's like, look at that cactus.
Like when we're in West Texas all the time or out at the ranch.
So like, now that I like
rocks. Look at all those cactus.
Now all the I like rocks is now the new joke now. I like rocks.
Danielle laughs at me every time I call it the cactus.
Yeah.
I just think it's cool because, like, I mean, around here you're used to seeing. People like in West Texas and like Arizona and New Mexico, they're like, "Ugh, cactus," because it's everywhere. But I mean, here in Houston, you don't really see wild growing cactus. Like you go to like the I was going to say the grocery store. Yeah, actually, HEB does. You can buy a cactus at HEB, but
like the nursery,
like a plant nursery or whatever, and you can buy a cactus there, but you never really see them growing wild unless somebody just kind of plants in their front yard. But so it's kind of, I don't know. I just think it's cool. I think it's cool to see rocks in the wild. I think it's cool to see cactus in the wild.
So I know what
something that you're not used to seeing.
We see rocks all the time. Our kids are playing with rocks all the time.
Not big freaking rocks.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
Not it's rocks just funny. That you can climb on.
Yeah. Anyways, today, well, let's see. This week, actually, shout out to someone real quick.
That's like the worst segue.
Shout out to me.
I said totally cut that out. That's a terrible segue.
I'm just trying to remind you.
It was like whenever we were filming the show and producers would hate it because, like, you know, we were in a conversation or whatever, but it's like a tie-in conversation that we need to tie this scene to another scene either later in the episode or whatever, to tie two storylines together. They're like, hey, just make sure you mention this thing and whatever you are talking about today. And they would hate it. And whenever you'd say like, oh, and speaking of,
like you had set it up.
Yeah, and they're like, don't do that. Just make it come naturally. Don't go, and speaking of, and then just like go straight into it. They're like, this is terrible.
Or it was also like, I would add on to, it was like, hey, we just need you to say that, repeat this and stop. Like, don't keep going. But then when you have to repeat it, you just keep talking. They're like, no, we can't have you keep talking.
Yeah. I just need an isolated sentence from you right now.
Yeah. So what's your sentence?
I actually wanted just to mention our sponsor for this episode, which is Good Ranchers.
Woohoo.
And it was funny because like my segue for Good Ranchers is because I have some beef today to talk about in this episode. And it's sponsored by Good Ranchers. That was going to be my segue.
Okay, well.
I got some beef. This beef sponsored by Good Ranchers today. This episode sponsored by Good Ranchers today. But
well, I got some chicken.
If you go to goodranchers.com, it's 100% born, raised, harvested American meat delivered to your door. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to worry about all this mystery meat. Man, I saw a video the other day on Instagram and I posted it to my story because it was just so disgusting. This meat that somebody bought from Publix and it was like goo.
Oh, it looked like slime.
That's probably the meat that's coming in these container ships from other countries that
are in the grocery stores with US.
You have fewer regulations and stuff. And so that's the problem. I mean, whenever like a lot of the stuff you see at the grocery store, you know, some stuff is getting raised overseas, it's getting slaughtered overseas and is put in container ships.
Gross.
How long does it stay in that container ship to get to the United States? No clue. But as long as they finish the final packaging in the US, they can put a USDA label on it and say it's a product of the US. And that's a big loophole in the law right now, the country of origin label law, that needs to go.
Yeah.
But that's why we order from Good Ranchers. Everything's born, raised, harvested all in the United States. You can use the code BUSBY at checkout for $40 off plus free meat for the life of your subscription. So you get to pick a free item that goes along into your box every single month. You can even pick and choose and change what free item it is over the course of the months if you want to try something new. And so thank you, Good Ranchers, for sponsoring this episode.
Yep.
And
let's get back to the beef talk.
Yeah. And so
what's your beef?
Well,
it's not what's for dinner. What's your beef?
Well, it can't be what's for dinner.
Yeah, we do need to think of dinner. Okay, beef's the topic today. What's your beef?
Oh, it was just about what happened to you the other day at the ophthalmologist.
Oh, I've already overcome that and got over that because more beefs happened.
Oh, really?
No,
So to catch you guys up,
you're gonna get me all fired up again.
If you didn't see Danielle's Instagram story the other day, and I kind of refrained from posting anything because I'm still kind of angry about it. I wanted to literally drive there and go speak to somebody, and I thought, well, that's probably going to be a bad idea. Mm-hmm. But I mean, this is so ridiculous. So
that's why I called you and I said, you better be glad that you weren't here because we would have all been embarrassed.
Okay, so we have a daughter, Hazel. I'm sure all of you that are listening to this episode, this show, know. We have Hazel. She was born with congenital nystagmus, which is an incurable eye condition. Makes her eyes constantly flutter. Early on in her life of nystagmus, she's had to have multiple eye surgeries to tighten and...
No, she's had one surgery.
Well, multiple surgeries on...
that incorporated
both of her eyes. And so it requires, every year you go to at least probably 2 follow-ups every single year just to make sure that
anywhere from 2 to 5 follow-ups. Everything's
still working properly. There's no need for an additional surgery and stuff like that. She has to follow up with a specialist.
Yeah.
And, the doctors early on that did the surgery, they ended up relocating to Dallas and also Austin. The doctor did the surgeries in Dallas right now. But whenever they moved, we were just trying to find a doctor more local and closer to us.
We traveled to Austin for years.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was probably 3 years ago, where we finally said, she's been on such a good track. Let's try to switch to a local PD ophthalmologist specialist in Nystagmus too in our area so that we're not traveling so much and taking a whole day. And, both Adam and I can make it to appointments and blah, blah, blah. So we switched to a doctor and it's been fine ever since. But
early on, obviously we followed Hazel's journey. Naturally, we had a television show for 10 years that followed the life cycle of Hazel's journey with nystagmus. Mm-hmm. All the doctor's visits and stuff like that. We'd do updates and travel to the doctor with the TV crew and stuff like that. So whenever we switched to the doctor that she was going to as of late, we were still filming the show. We brought it up to him. Hey, we've been following Hazel's journey. We'd like to film there. They didn't want us to film there. And so after the appointment, we're like, well, we still have to cover this on the show and give an update. And so after that appointment, we went outside and we went all the way off property, past the sidewalk, out on the street, just so we could do
film what happened at the appointment.
Yeah, just to do a little 2-camera interview with me and Danielle, just kind of talking about the appointment, and Hazel. And that was it. We didn't talk about who the doctor was, the location, anything like that. And then, over the course of the last few years, we've been going to the same doctor. And I think there was one incident early on, we had, brought in a camera with us.
I brought a GoPro.
To do, because we have a YouTube channel. We follow this stuff and we just kind of get Hazel's reaction in the doctor's office or whatever. And, I think they mentioned something, hey, we don't really filming and stuff in there. So
I actually was using my phone. I just had like my phone, and Hazel had to get her eyes dilated.
So we're like, okay.
So I'm filming like,
and then,
Hazel,
and
you
then,
look weird. Look, what does it feel like?
Yeah. And it's all like focused on Hazel and just like her reaction and her talking through it and stuff. It's not like filming the doctor and like having the conversation with the doctor and the eye exam. It's not really any of that. It was just like specifically focused on Hazel, but they probably didn't know that. And so, like, you know, we'd have a conversation with them, and they were like, okay, yeah, we don't like to do that. And so we're like, okay. And so we never did it again.
Yeah.
Probably the extent, which probably most parents do whenever they take their kids to the eye doctor, they take a photo of their kid just sitting in the chair.
And I've done that since Hazel was a baby.
Yeah. And so
I've always done that, but it's never been in any chair, it's never been with the doctor around. It's just literally to see her growth and how she sits in the chair versus when she used to have to sit in my lap.
Yeah. So Hazel's been going to the same doctor for multiple times a year for the last, I don't know how many years. 2 to 3 years. She's just seen this.
And she's probably seen it at least 4 or 5 times.
And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you know, Hazel has an update appointment to go to this doctor before the school year, just make sure everything's fine going into this school year. And Danielle shows up at the doctor's office for her appointment that was scheduled.
Confirmed all the things.
And she walks into the office and they said, Miss Busby, we need to have a conversation or something like that. Pretty much like, so Danielle has,
I walked in and
Danielle has Hazel with her and like
Olivia, Parker, and
3
Ava
of our other
wanted to
queens.
go. So I was like, all right, whatever. Y'all can totally come. It's fine. And I thought it was, I'm pretty sure this was the appointment. It was like the big appointment. So the dilation, what we have to do once a year and like all of it. And so I check in. Okay. Yeah. And then the guy was like, just want to make sure like we don't do any videos for, I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I know.
We haven't done that in years.
Sit down. I brought in her broke glasses. She picked out a new pair to swap them out, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes back. Miss Busby, can we chat with you over here? I'm like, all right. And since Hazel wasn't by herself, I was like, all right, girls, y'all sit here. I'm going to go over there. And then they walk over there. And I mean, it was just poor customer service. And I like, now, thank you for bringing this back up on the emotional days that I've had these last couple of days. And I didn't want to think about it, but it's like, I just can't get over the fact that like, basically the doctor doesn't want us as a patient because of
the public nature of our family.
Because of the public nature of your family. Even not saying a name, not saying the business, nothing. We will talk about Hazel's eyes.
Yeah.
Because we have always shared that part of our life with Hazel's journey. And they don't want to be tied to it at all. And I'm like,
she said she's uncomfortable to perform services with our family.
So I said,
so instead of knowing that we have, I mean, honestly, Hazel's gone there multiple times a year for I don't know how many years. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, like we haven't done anything new.
We haven't seen her since the last checkup, which was 6+ months ago.
Yeah. All of a sudden, out of the blue. So they have this in mind. And instead of a phone call, knowing that Hazel's appointment is on the books,
they called me to confirm my appointment.
Oh, yeah, they confirmed the appointment. Know. And so instead of a phone call saying this,
or asking us to come in, have a conversation,
getting the kids ready, driving them up there, they're gonna have you drive to this office, and then pretty much like kick you out of the building whenever you get there. Like I was furious.
Well, it was
like it's such bad business. It's such. I mean,
he did say it was his fault, and I said, "What? Somebody's fault because this is I forgot the words I said, but I had good words. I didn't make up words at that time. I had good words.
So like I even went to this particular. I even like had multiple appointments. That's where I did my eye appointments because Hazel was there, and. So it's Coastal Eye Associates in Webster, Texas. I don't care. Like they need to be held accountable. Coastal Eye Associates in Webster, Texas, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's the worst customer service. like horrible business. Like you don't just do that to people. Like if you want to have a conversation and you don't want to do business with us, that's fine. Let us know ahead of time before confirming an appointment, having a mom and 4 kids drive up there and then pretty much kick them out of the building because you don't feel comfortable because we have a public family. It's so ridiculous. And to top that off, Danielle was like, okay, like that's fine. If you don't want to see Hazel, so, well, since she needs, this level of care, can you please give us a recommendation of another doctor we could see?
No, I didn't say that.
What'd you say?
I said,
what other doctor can we go see?
I said, so they're not wanting to see Hazel today. Correct. Is there someone else that we're going to be able to see today since y'all have confirmed my appointment? We've released your services last year. I said, release what services? No one has notified me of anything. So I don't know.
So why did you confirm an appointment then?
Why this appointment was made. This is a follow-up appointment from the last appointment. And I did have to reschedule it because we were out of town over the summer and it was rescheduled to this date. And so it didn't make any sense. And I said, so what you're saying is you let me waste my time coming in here so that you could tell me y'all don't want to see us because we will share our story about Nystagmus with Hazel's journey. I'm sorry. I will be happy to take my services elsewhere. And thank you for this inappropriate conversation that you just have had with us. And I walked out and I said, let's go, girls. They no longer want to see the Busbys.
Yeah.
And I left. And now Hazel's like, what's going on? And I'm like,
but he did mention something about, she can.
Oh, he said
Hazel's fine. She can probably go see.
She probably doesn't need to even see an ophthalmologist. You can see an optometrist. And I was like, no, I feel most comfortable seeing an ophthalmologist because we are not just here for eye vision, which is fine. And I'm not saying anything wrong against the optometrist. We see someone who specializes with nystagmus and working with nystagmus.
Yeah, she needs a specialist.
And that's where we feel most comfortable. It was already a hard deal to switch a doctor and walking through that journey. Now to just be like, oh, you don't need, like, don't tell me what we need. Like, you don't know my daughter. And who are you even anyways to tell me this? Like, I've seen your face one time. You have nothing. Like, you're getting me fired up.
If you're a credible vision practice, you know our daughter's history. She has a congenital eye condition that has required surgeries in the past and follow-ups every year to make sure that everything's going well with that.
So it just was,
you know her history, and then you're going to say, oh, she can just go see an optometrist. She can't.
Maybe there is a great optometrist, but I sure as heck I'm not going to anyone at that place because that was just ridiculous. However, I do have to go pick up her new pair of glasses when they come in.
Oh, I'll go.
Anyway,
give me some names.
No, and I think this podcast is not about like blasting other people or whatnot. We're sharing our experience, and I don't think it's appropriate for you to necessarily put the name of the company out there.
They made it personal.
I've talked about it, and I've never shared that because it's not about specifically that.
Well, they made it personal, so I'm going to make it personal.
Well, y'all got Adam beefed up in his burly boat.
Yeah, that's my beef.
So it's not at all what I was planning on talking about. On when this happened that day, you could have sat me in the chair and I probably could have been really fired up about it.
I want to go stand at the street with a sign.
Oh, you do that, boo.
And my burly bow.
With a sign in the 900-degree weather. I want to go see you do that.
Yeah. So.
Anyway.
If that fires you up too.
Looking for a new doctor.
What they did to Hazel Grace. Go leave them a review.
All right. And we're going to take a little break and shout out to our sponsor, the one and only Good Ranchers.
Good Ranchers. So just over the last year, close to 4 billion pounds of meat was imported in the U.S. from other countries, and it all ended up in grocery stores with a label on it that said product to the U.S.
Yeah.
And once I found that out, like it just kind of turned everything upside down whenever it comes to like what meat we buy and stuff. And so that was one of the main reasons why we ultimately ended up subscribing to Good Ranchers at the very beginning. I mean, honestly, before I even started doing work with Good Ranchers, we were subscribers for probably close to a year and a half, 2 years. And then we ended up developing a relationship, realizing, oh crap, they're just down the road. Because stuff does get delivered from like their fulfillment that's not necessarily coming from right here in Friendswood, Texas. And so once we realized that, we ended up kind of developing a relationship with them. But, you just have peace of mind with Good Ranchers, knowing that everything is hormone-free, antibiotic-free, and it's all 100% born, raised, harvested, all in the United States.
Yeah.
And so you can go to goodranchers.com and put the code Busby, and you'll get $40 off plus free meat for life of your subscription. And so
sounds like a lot of meat when you say free meat for life.
I know. So like every month, like you can actually, whenever you subscribe, you can actually choose what that free meat entails.
Like the addition to like whatever subscription box you're picking. So you can pick from different forms of boxes you want, like what kind of cuts, what meats you want. Do you want steaks? Do you want chicken? Do you want the nuggets? All the things. But you actually can get an additional free item is what you're saying.
Like bacon, seed oil free chicken nuggets. And you can also, as long as you're subscribed, you can actually go in and pick like, oh, I want to try this next month for my free item. And you can go through, change it. It's hassle-free subscription. Like if you're going out of town or you just got a full freezer, you can delay your orders or anything like that. It's all super easy and straightforward to do online. And so you can go to goodranchers.com.
Use code Busby.
And use the code Busby.
$40 off.
Plus
free meat for life. You also can do goodranchers.com/Busby and check out our curated Busby box of our favorite things that we eat on the weekly. And it includes the seed oil free chicken nuggets, which I'm telling you, you're never going to want to eat different chicken nuggets. You're never going to want to eat different type of meat. I'm not a person who's like, I'm like, Adam can be like, oh, this steak's great. This steak's, and I'm like, meat's meat. But I'm not saying this because one, they sponsor, it's just true. It's true. I remember when I ate that hamburger one day and I was like, what in the world is this? It's so good.
Yeah, I remember that first time you're like, what is this?
I literally was like running out the door to an event and I was so hungry and I was like, took a bite and I'm like, no, I got to eat the whole thing. And I finally discovered a different taste of meat when we encountered Good Ranchers meat. So it's real, it's true, and it's American, homegrown, and it's amazingly tasting. Is that a good word? Amazingly?
You kind of flubbed it a little bit, but it's all right.
Anyway, so thank you, Good Ranchers, for sponsoring this podcast. We love y'all.
Yep. Good Ranchers, American meat delivered.
And listen, I think what, above all that, I understand that if some place doesn't want to be filmed, like I've always been okay with, it was part of our life and we're asking, and if it's not okay, completely fine. We will not do it. Yeah. Okay. I just thought it was very disrespectful that I was not told ahead of time and we were left on the schedule and confirmed everything to almost embarrass us in the place. And I'm just saying, like, thank goodness Adam wasn't there because he would have made a scene about it. And I just think it was bad business and bad customer service. I don't feel like, some people might come back at me and say, well, you're the parents that are sharing this journey. We've made it very clear from the very beginning. We feel that God has called us to share our story. It comes with good, it comes with bad. And, that does make a level of quote unquote, I hate the word exposing, because we're not exposing our kids. We are sharing a glimpse of our life. And so even the parts that we do share and the parts that you've seen on Outdaughtered or whatever, it still is only a glimpse. So yes, there is a level of exposure, but we feel we're trusting in God as far as like how we are doing this and how we have always done this. But we feel called to share our story and, walking that level of like nystagmus. I didn't know anything about nystagmus until we had Hazel. I never even heard the word, honestly.
Yeah.
And so,
and we've gotten, thousands of messages from other people who have children with nystagmus.
Questions.
How just sharing Hazel's story has helped them, and they've
notice this or see that,
and they've been able to ask us questions and stuff like that and get advice and whatnot, and
about surgery.
And so sharing Hazel's journey
has helped a lot of people,
other people. And that's the whole reason why, that's why we're doing this podcast. That's why we've done our TV show. Like, there's aspects of our story that helps other people. And that's why we encourage other people to share their story. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're doing. But
even what's beautiful to continue sharing Hazel's nystagmus journey is that it is to show you that, because when we were in that level of she's a baby and you're getting all these different opinions, and we even like multiple doctors, multiple opinions between me and Adam on like what is best to do, and really just trying to take a leap of faith and saying, okay, God, like, I don't want to do surgery. He wants to do surgery. Is this the right time? No, we should wait till they're older. We should wait till they can have feedback, blah, blah, blah. If you do it now, you're more than likely going to have another surgery and another surgery. And it's just to go and say that, like, sometimes we just can't always make the best decision, that we have to really, as Christians, we say we seek advice and decision making based on prayer, and we pray about things and we decide based off of convictions and prayer. Okay. So we did that, and we ended up having Hazel's surgery when she was probably about 15 months old, and Adam wanted to do it. And I was like, I really want to wait till she's older. I just feel like it's not the right time. And we waited months through that, walking through that. And she's 10 years old now, and she has yet to have another surgery in her, like, I'm telling you, so there is hope even when the outcome, this is part of, which would love to bring up later. Part of sharing your story is encouraging people of stories of hope too, because Hazel has an amazing journey story, because she is an example of, even when they say you might have to have another surgery a year, you might have to have it 10 years from now. We're at the 10-year mark almost, and she hasn't had to have another surgery, and her vision has continued to improve. Yeah. And, so I want to be able to share that, to tell parents that, like, there is hope. Yeah. We always thought Hazel might not be able to drive because her vision was not good enough. Well, homegirl sees like 20/30 for the first time. Her last follow-up visit was the best she ever claimed on the eye chart. She saw some letters on the 20/30 mark. That is incredible. Yeah. That is incredible. And, we've gone through eye patching. We've gone through different, horrible, like, super strong lenses and different lenses and different eye, like, lots of different things that we've pretty much, I feel like we've shared everything. Mm-hmm. And it just, I don't know. I just want other families to know that, like, just because the doctors say this doesn't mean that that's always going to be the outcome. There's always,
or also just because you read this.
Yeah.
And that was like us at the beginning.
You're always reading.
Whenever we found out she had nystagmus, and then you just like get on the internet and start reading about it. And, you read, the gamut of people that have this condition, and, it can be from considered blind to can have a normal functioning life. You just don't know. It's like such a wide range of, diagnosis that, you kind of get a little nervous and paranoid and stuff. And you're reading all this stuff like, oh, she may never be able to drive. She may be considered legally blind, like all this stuff. And then it's also, there's no cure for this condition right now. She's going to struggle with this for the foreseeable future until there's some sort of medical breakthrough, which there hasn't been, other than just like treating specific symptoms through surgery or, vision optics and stuff like that. And, so, we've been open about sharing our story of Hazel, through this whole thing, because it has been inspirational and it has been eye-opening for other parents who have kids with this condition. And it has opened doors to be able to have conversations and stuff with other parents that have, kids with nystagmus. Yeah. And, just even get some like feedback from them, like whenever they just find out that their kid's dealing with this, or they notice Hazel, in her eye flutter and stuff. And they're like, oh, well, that's what my kid's eyes are doing right now. And so it causes them to seek help and stuff. And so,
or just like, I think the first thing that we noticed was like Hazel's head tilt, like she would turn her head and her eyes would go to the side. And so what was happening, well, we noticed the involuntary eye movement when she was about 4 months old, 4 months old. She was at home, out of the NICU, at home. And that's when we discovered the, movement and stuff. And so it started from like her being 4 months old. She can't really see. She doesn't see color at that point. She don't there's a lot of vision growth that still had to happen. But we've been on this journey since she's been 4 months old, and she's 10 years old now. So doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean that, if you're listening to your children and or you have nystagmus, doesn't mean you're going to have the same outcome. Doesn't, it might not be the same journey, but just know that we also have met other people with nystagmus, and it's given us great opportunities to have conversations about hey, you're an adult now. What's life? What's it like? How do you, and they can better verbalize what life is and how things are, and driving in this and blah, blah, blah. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a journey that she'll live with forever because there's no cure for it, like we've said. But I don't know. We just got fired up because I was completely caught off guard and blown away by the fact of that. And I was like, dude, there's no cameras with me. I got 4 kids with me. I don't know what you I'm just so confused. And clearly doctor was uncomfortable with just us coming in. But I just think it would have been appropriate to give us
highly inappropriate the way that they handled it.
Give us
unprofessional.
Yeah.
And personal.
So I moved on from it.
So we don't normally do this, and I don't know if we've ever just caught out a company like this, but
we didn't. You just did.
I just did. And because I'm angry.
Wait.
And I shouldn't be speaking out of anger, but it's very personal, and you did it to my wife and children. I'm going to call you out on it. So I wasn't there to have a conversation with you, but I have a platform to have this conversation right here in public. I just saw yesterday, it was on multiple tabloids picked it up. It was on the front page of YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. It was on the front page of Yahoo from your story.
Oh, really?
I don't
see all that stuff.
It got a little traction last night, even just Danielle sharing it on her story. So I don't know. Send them a review.
All right. So we're going to wrap that beefy story up. And
speaking of telling your story.
Oh. Are you doing an intro, one of those things?
I was going to intro you. We talked about that earlier.
Oh.
I was taking it full circle to the beginning.
Okay. But I didn't say that.
Speaking of sharing your story. And
okay.
Danielle has something to share.
That wasn't going to be my intro into
but you did that to me.
I know. I didn't know I was doing it to you, but so man, probably, I know if you've been listening to the podcast, number one fans of the podcast, we've talked about me putting on a women's event, and God's been telling me formalize this women's ministry. And so I know podcast always gets the first of the first, except I talked about your beef on my story, Instagram story, and then the podcast got the beef.
Yeah. We got to elaborate on it, and I got to speak on it.
But I have shared that, you know, I've been writing books and we have some children books coming out, trying to create a women's ministry, and I'm going to be putting on a women's event this fall. And so like now it's like official. Okay. I don't know what that means to you, but it feels like it to me. Like I have a date for the event. So if you want to put this in your calendar, the date has not been exposed out and it's not going to be launched out.
I thought you've shared a link before.
No, that was a link to sign up for the information for when it announces, which that email is supposed to go out today. Thank you for that. But because we love y'all and we want you to get the first, the date, so you want to put this in your calendar, is going to be October 17th. It is a Friday, and it's going to be an evening event. So just mark your calendar and reserve that day. And if you're wanting to come from out of town, schedule your planning to be here for Friday, October 17th, and more details to come. But that event is going to be the first women's event that I'm putting on. I'm super excited about it. The whole ministry is called The Heart of Her. And so you will see, if you follow me on Instagram, I actually launched that Instagram account and sent the first post out last night. And so it's like happening. It's like happening now, like happening. I did the walkthrough today with one of my friends who's helping with the design and everything. And it just made it all feel so real, and it's all coming together for the event. But the ministry itself will be filled with resources, events, conferences, lots of good stuff. And it's all about women encouraging women and women supporting women, because we know a lot of this world is filled with women against women, not necessarily because we really do it on purpose at times, but there's a lot of doing it on purpose and a lot of comparing. But it's about, let's come together as women and as moms and as friends and as sisters of Christ, and let's encourage one another. And the event is going to be about sharing stories of hope and encouraging one another's, and walking a life with Jesus, and some great music. It's going to be so exciting. And I want to say all of it right now, but I'm not going to, because there's so much to kind of like prep towards that. But it's now out there to you, October 17th. Okay. So put that on your calendar. Yes. Adam will be there too.
I will.
And we're going to have, okay, I'll just keep going a little bit. I'll have about 4 or 5 speakers. I will be sharing. I've got some other people and another kind of like celebrity figure too that will be there. October 17th is the date of the event. And we will be doing a pre-launch, like early bird sale tickets. So make sure you're going and following Heart of Her Instagram page. Website, not quite there yet, but it's almost there. Okay. But Instagram is where you're going to see the first information. So make sure to go follow that. And we're super excited.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good. So good.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Just like your burly bow.
Thank you.
Anyways, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. So thanks for listening. I feel like we joked a lot, got spicy, and then got really excited at the end.
Got mad, got happy. Yeah.
Yeah. I still have a lot to talk about from this week. So maybe we should just end this podcast and start another one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Wardrobe change.
Yes, please wardrobe change yourself. Anyways, love you guys. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one, or hear you in the next one, or listen to us in the next one.
Yep. Don't forget to like, subscribe to all the things: YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Instagram.
Yep.
We're all over the place. So thank you guys that have. If you haven't already, it's free. So go out and do it.
Show your love by liking and subscribing.
Follow the story. Sometimes we get spicy. Sometimes we get sentimental. Sometimes we share nuggets. Sometimes we share family stuff.
Sometimes
today was a little spicy.
Drama.
We were mad. I was mad.
Yeah.
But all right. This is episode
listening.
45 of More Than Reality podcast. We'll see you in the next one. All right. Love you guys.